Hey, how you doing, everybody? So, as you can see from the title, this is about cleaning, maintaining, and doing maintenance on your EDC. Because when you need it, that's when you want it to be in perfect shape. With the watch, it would be battery changing, checking the band, make sure you don't have any loose pins. Very simple. The other stuff's a little more in depth. At least I get with some of it. Anyway, before we get into all that, you got to do first. You know what you got to do. You got to go hit that thumbs up, show them you like the video. Then after you do that, you go over here, you hit that subscribe, you hit it again, you get the two marks up above, and that will get you into the subscription. Will show up in your newsfeed, and you'll be all prepared for the week to see the videos as they come out. Now, like I said with the watch in the beginning, very simple. Just clean it off with a cloth, shine it up. You can use some jewelry shiner on it or something, as you can see, and just maintain it. I just want to put the watch to the side for a second there. Now, with the wallet, you usually don't have to do much for a wallet, but this is one of those metal wallets. And as you can see here, I have my Husky little bit thing here. Just find the bit that actually fits into the little bolts over here. And you just want to make sure everything's tight so you don't lose stuff. And of course, it's going to be almost the last bit. Almost, not quite. I'm just leaving the bits out because I'm going to need it for the knife. So just make sure everything's nice and tight and tidy. I don't have the money clip part on this, so there's no need to check that out. And you just make sure everything is nice and tight on all the bolts over here. The knives are a little more, and the flashlight's a little more in depth. So, and if you have a leather wallet, you could clean it up with some leather polish or some, what do you call that stuff? Not the leather polish, but you could check it out with some of the saddle soap if it's a leather wallet, or you could put some of the what do you call that on there? Some of the oil, the natural oil, to keep the leather from cracking, and it also helps age it. And just check the elastic to make sure it's good. Gonna put that to the side so we can look at stuff better. Now my flashlight, getting a little weak there, and of course you could go to Harbor Freight and get yourself a little O-ring kit, and you have all the different O-rings for your flashlight here. I have a red one over there from my other flashlight, my Coast flashlight, if you looked at it. I'm just using this one as an example so we could check it out. I'm just taking everything apart here. And of course you could clean this as well. The O-ring over here, as you can see, it's a little O-ring right here. Seemed to be pretty good. Let me just move it out of the camera so you just take a really close look at it, make sure everything's, it seems to be perfect. So will not be, but we will be changing the light. As you can see, we got them at the battery. As you can see, we got some Kirtland, so we were shopping at Costco for our batteries. Just put that back on. Make sure the O-ring over here is in good shape. If everything's good, you can put it back together. You don't need the O-rings. I did have to replace O-rings on a flashlight before, so the battery is good. Put the old battery to the side. Just clean it off. You don't have to go crazy with it. Just give it a good brush or a good wiping off there, if you will. And let me just get the O-rings out of the way. We don't have an O-light here. Now with this bad boy, of course, I don't have the screwdriver here, I don't believe. Do I? No. So you would need the actual screwdriver to tighten this one. I completely forgot to bring over my screwdriver. But my knife has a screwdriver, so we good. So you get this. Tighten that over there. As you can see, it is quite tarnished or rusted a little. I do have some polish here for knives and stuff. That should be able to take it off pretty decently. It probably won't take all of it off, but it'll take a great deal off. And you could just polish up some stuff. Make everything look nice and tidy. It's not going to look like new, of course. It's been sitting in your pocket, holding your money and whatnot. So, of course, you know, that side's a heck of a lot better. Probably need some sandpaper or something there to get everything off of that. Just check the little slip joint, make sure everything's clean in there, and knock that to the side. Now with your knives, you could wipe it. Well, with your phone, I personally have a military grade guard screen protector. It's kind of a plasticky. You can't use your phone for quite a while after you put it on there. It's kind of got like a liquid you put on and everything. So that I usually wipe down. I take out the case, clean the inside of the case. I'm shooting it on my phone, so I can't take my phone apart and show you. I will also do that with my tablet. This, this is just the grabber. You're grabbing everything and stuff like that. So, give it a good wipe down. Get some of the germs off of it from the week. I usually put some hand sanitizer and stuff on it anyway. And of course, you could use the polish if you want. I like the tarnish look on the brass. The age look. It looks cool. So, I don't clean it that much, but I can give it a little polish to show you. And I probably will kind of take that little divot out there with a little file or something. So shine it up a little bit there. Now with the knives, I'm not going to go too in detail. They're pretty sharp, so you could either use this with some honing liquid. This is the Smith's honing stone. You just put some liquid on there, let it soak in for a little bit, and you can just sharpen the knife on there. I got a honing block right here. I'll just tighten it up with that a little bit, and of course we have our strap. That is a homemade strap. So of course, check out the knife. Let's move this aside for a second there. I'm gonna just make sure everything's nice and tight first. You don't want to make the joint too tight, because then it's going to be a little harder for it to slip out that joint, and you're going to need two of these. So I have this one, the Husky one, and I have, where did it go? There it goes. I have my little Kershaw little bit thing. It unscrews over here, and your bits come out like so. I'm not going to mess with the pivot too much right now because it's pretty good. So, you would take your little diamond. It has different grades, as you could see. That's a 600 grit because I'm just tuning it. And you would put that to the side. I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm not going to bore you by sitting here sharpening all my knives. And then, just put it on the strap a little bit. Shine it up. Make sure everything's good. And then, of course, you could take some of your cleaner over here. Put a little dab here and there. And then just polish it up. This is this old ripped t-shirt that I use. This is not a shiny metal blade. It's a, camouflage, so of course you don't have to go too much into that. But, just freshen it up a little bit, make it look good. And you would do the same with your Victorian knocks. I just strap this because I just sharpened this recently. And then, take a little bit of polish. Make sure everything's look nice and tidy. This doesn't need tightening, so you don't need the screws. You don't need the O-rings or anything like that. It's quite small. And then you have the scissors on this as well. You could do the same thing with the scissors. You can just put them on the strap as well as the honing. It's a little bit harder with the smaller one, so it's a little bit harder doing it from behind the camera. And then again with this knife you can tighten up. As you could see right here, it's basically the piece right here. There's that one big one in the back that holds the actual clip. That's the main part that holds the knife together for the most part. So of course you would just tighten that up. There's a little bit of dirt and grime in there. Just knock it out a little bit with that, or a toothpick or something. And then there's this one over here. I don't want to mess with that because I like this, the way it flicks out. As you can see, you got a little bit of tarnish on there. So you just take your cream right there. And there you go. You can just go through that like so. And make sure everything's nice and tidy. Nice and clean. Nice and shiny. Looks good. And got a little bit of tarnish there for some reason. You want to make sure you get that tarnish off. I may have to do that a little bit later. I may take a little grinding or sanding or something on there to get that off, because it doesn't want to seem to come off. But you get the picture. And make sure you close your knife. And then, of course, you have your Victorinox. You can sharpen the blade, put it on the honing or the strop. It was sharpened recently, so I don't have to go too crazy. And of course, it has 2 blades, so you want to get both blades. You want to shine them both up. And then with the scissors, you can open it up like so. Put it on the honing. Put it on the strop a little. Make sure your scissors are nice and sharp and straight. And then, of course, just take some of the cleaning stuff right here. Just go over it a little bit. You just want to make sure everything's nice and clean, because guess what? Especially with scissors, because they close in on each other and they slide across, you want everything to be nice and tight on there. So you want everything good, because a little bit of dirt can move the scissors apart and can also over time stretch it out a little bit. So you want everything to be nice and solid. So this way you can just clip off there. And do the same with your other blades. Make sure you maintain your EDC, because you want it to last and you want it to look good. So make sure you do a maintenance on your regular maintenance on your EDC, maybe once a month, every few weeks or so, whichever you are choosing. I like to do it every now and then, like you see. I just figured since I was going to do it today, I figured I'd take out the video, put you a little video there to show you how to do it. So thank you so much for joining us. I know you all like these EDC videos, and have a great day, okay? Thank you.